How's it going? Welcome back, my beautiful sinners, to another great and amazing video here on The Savior Show. That's right, it's great to have you back today, my sinners. Now, I'm not going to do a face cam on this video because I just want you to appreciate the cool imagery for you today provided. Now, today, my sinners, I have a very important discussion to have with you. That's right. If you're not aware, we are heading towards a dark dystopia. We are heading towards a dark dystopia very rapidly, okay? And if you compare modern day life 2020, compare it to the world of these, futuristic films where it all looks bleak and dark and dystopian, like Blade Runner, like there's so many of them out there that just depict exactly where we are going as a species. And today, I just wanted to talk to you about the digital future and how we are now entering a purely digital world, and necessarily this is not a good thing, obviously, okay? So first of all, I just want to say I'm not anti-technology. I don't disapprove of using technology. Obviously it can be very beneficial towards, learning something, doing research, and just discovering new things, meeting new people, having new experiences, and just connecting the world in this hive mind, okay? And today, my sinners, I'm going to be talking a little bit about the hive mind, okay? Because I want to talk about merging with machines, the symbiotic relationship between men and machines, women and machines, whatever, mankind and technology. And when we become completely symbiotic and we fully merge with AI, what kind of world will we see then? So, I've got a lot to cover today, so I hope you enjoy this video. Sit back down, relax, grab yourself a snack, okay? I know this might not be the most family-friendliest video ever, okay? But it's something I feel very, very passionate about, and something I feel is really important to talk about, because right now in 2020, we are at a breaking point. We are at, a point of transition between, human freedom, a pro-human future, and a dystopian, automated digital future where everyone is, trapped in their little corporate box, doing the corporate jiggle dance, and we all just completely bow down to the big tech gods who will run our lives and all that kind of stuff. So, my sinners, if you're not aware, I can't get too much into detail about it because YouTube, obviously, as a platform, won't like me talking about some of the certain things that I want to talk about. But if you're not aware, 2020 has been a pretty crazy year. We are all aware that now the future is here, and yes, the pandemic is obviously a real issue. It's very bad and how it affects people, but what's more disturbing and what's more scary is the way governments, big tech corporations, companies, and the way we are handling the pandemic. That is far more worse, okay? Because if you're not aware, everyone is losing their jobs, the economy is completely crashing, lots of people are losing their lives. This is a very serious message right now. I'm sorry, I'm not a family-friendly YouTuber, but I want to talk about real issues, and I'm goddamn sick of it, and I want people out there to know that you're not alone, and we can fight back, and there is a strong arm resistance that won't head towards this dystopian world. We can fight it, and there's a lot of people who don't even know we're heading towards a dystopian future. They're just blindly, oblivious of the kind of world that we're living in, oblivious to the people in charge and how they're changing the way that we interact with the world through technology, through different regulations that they keep on implementing. It's a complete joke, okay? So, yes, I do think that the way the pandemic has been handled is absolutely disgusting, okay? Far more people have lost their jobs and their lives, actually, because they can't get real medical attention. And, of course, if you can't feed your family, then obviously you're gonna die anyway. So, this whole idea of the pandemic, which obviously is bad, listen to all the advice and all that shit, okay? I just gotta say that because I'm a little puppet YouTube slave, but actually what I really believe in is do your own independent research, think for yourselves, and actually realize that this pandemic isn't as deadly as the mainstream media are making it out to be, okay? Because it's not, okay? The death rate is so tiny, and we close down all of our, the way of life, how we function, our economy. We close down everything. We put people in debt. We give them huge fines for breaking regulations. We see people dying constantly from diseases that aren't getting treated. It's a very sick dystopian world right now, and this is all being pushed forwards by big tech, by these big corporations who are now they're of course in huge amounts of profit, unlike small businesses which are completely going under, okay, and that's why this is happening, okay, so that the big tech corporations can have more control, more power, and then they don't have any other competition. No more small businesses can rise up and become, corporations and, big tech themselves, because they never get a chance to rise up and be pro-human and human spirit. Already the people in these high positions, like Facebook, for example, there is no competition with them, okay? And of course, I could mention the whole thing that how the Western world is slowly becoming China and how we're all just puppets from their government, but of course, I can't say too much about that, but I pretty much just did, so fuck you, YouTube, okay? And yes, okay, so it's a complete dystopian hellhole. We are heading there very rapidly. Regulations are coming in 24/7. People and their human rights are being violated every day. Soon, you will not be able to travel without showing a valid, DNA chip. It's not long before we head to that point. Already now, they are saying that these vaccines might become mandatory, and even if they're not mandatory, it will limit you from doing anything that you want in life, like traveling, like going to see people, like going to work. So, I'm not saying don't get the vaccine. I'm not saying that. Obviously, the vaccine is important and do your own research. But the fact that, they make it mandatory and then stop and limit you from doing other things, and all these politicians are coming on saying, it's okay, look, I'm gonna do it in front of a TV camera. Something feels very weird, okay? Something is very definitely off about this whole situation, okay? And I'm not alone in thinking that, okay? I'm not spreading misinformation. I'm just saying do your own research, think for yourselves. Don't just believe in the mainstream media, because obviously they're lying scumbags. They're trying to push an agenda. They're trying to limit people's expression and freedom of voice. They're censoring everyone left, right, and center. They just discredit anyone who they disagree with, like Donald Trump. They completely, just make him out to look like a complete horrible, evil person. The way the mainstream media manipulates the masses to control them is so clear and obvious now, and I think people are finally waking up to the fact that they can't trust the mainstream media, that, objective journalism died a long time ago, okay, and, it's all biased now. But the problem is that we are heading towards a dark dystopia with all these regulations, these governments that have gone power mad, these huge corporations that have gone absolutely power mad, that can change the way we live because they have so much influence and money that they can control governments pretty much, okay? So we are literally heading to a cyberpunk future dystopian world, and that's not going to be good. It's not going to be like the movies where we see everyone with cool, robotics and everyone is like a superhuman. It's going to be these, dystopian movies where everyone is just like Blade Runner. Everyone's hunched over, they're all wearing little muzzles, and they've all got, digital girlfriends and digital relationships. Nothing's real anymore. Everything that's being promoted now is, digital. Everything. You should do all your interactions digitally. You can't have a human society when you're afraid of other humans. And this is all a part of promoting this dystopian future where, they are promoting a digital way of life and not a pro-human way of life, okay? And it's just so transparent to me, and it really does make me sick, okay? And I really think that we need to do something about it. We really do need to fight back and try and be pro-human, okay? So, with that being said, the dystopian future is clearly on the rise. We have to do something about it. We have to fight back, okay? We have to take control of our lives and live a pro-human way of life and limit our uses of these social medias, these technologies that control us and divide us. And of course, don't listen to the mainstream media. Do your own independent research. But of course, when these new regulations come in and governments have full control over their citizens, it's already too late. So that's why you really need to think about what's the best plan for you and how we can combat this future. perhaps it will happen. There's no stopping it. It's just part of, the human evolution, and the people in control, they're just too much powerful to stop. But you can still have a breakaway civilization. At least that's my hope, okay? Now, my sinners, on to the cybernetic future where we are merging with machines, okay? Which is, another thing that's pretty much gonna happen in a few years. Probably, like, I give it 20 years and we'll have Neuralinks. Everyone will have Neuralinks. Everyone will be half cybernetic and half human, okay? So if you're not aware, there's, companies like, who are founded by Elon Musk, and there's other companies now. I think Facebook's doing it. I think Amazon might be doing one as well. There's a few of them now out there that are trying to implement brain, augmentation with, machine technology, AI algorithm learning software, which pretty much means that the whole point of being a human is, striving, learning a skill, learning a craft, learning an artwork, doing something that makes you feel special and unique. But of course we don't get that anymore because we're always comparing ourselves on social media. That's why the masses are mostly unhappy nowadays. But what I'm trying to say is, when this implementation of technology comes into our lives, like Neuralink for example, it sounds cool that yes, you can see if you've become blind from a neurological disease or whatever. That's all good. Or you can control a robotic arm using, your brain. But what happens when we can just download software to make us learn anything? You don't have to craft a skill anymore. You don't have to learn to play the piano. You can just download a program and you will automatically be the best piano player in the world. Everyone will become the same, and it will become a genderless world where everyone is just a bland, bald-headed Neuralink freak, in other words, that, everyone is connected through the hive mind of the AI, and everyone is just doing the same thing. Everyone has the same function. At least that's my idea of the future, and I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. And it's going to start off slowly, but you'll see that they'll slowly implement different methods using the Neuralink. And yes, it can be beneficial, but we're not going to use it in a pro-human way, of course, like getting rid of negative human emotions. We're going to use it for control, okay? That's how they want to use it. They're going to use it to advertise. They're going to use it to, manipulate how you think and what to think. It's going to, give you different social credit scores. It's going to, just change your behavior in a way that you're not human anymore. But when that can be hijacked and hacked and manipulated, especially when it's being produced by a big tech corporation, obviously that's not good, okay? And I would never put anything in my head that is being made by Amazon, okay? You would have to be absolutely crazy to do something like that. But people buy Alexas all the time. People, consume constantly all this new technology, so it won't be long before we're all Neuralinked and all cybernetically enhanced. But what that does, it will take away from the human practice and the human spirit and the human, when I talk about the human spirit, I'm not religious, I'm not crazy or anything like that. I just believe that we are, part of nature's evolution, okay? And we shouldn't take away from the, human evolutionary steps of just, we are biological beings. The way our brains function, should adapt with nature, not adapt with technology. And yes, it can be beneficial, but we're not going to use it in a beneficial way because that's humanity, okay? We now, instead of promoting good ideologies like, Stoicism or Buddhism or, Tao or anything like that, we promote consumer capitalism, chasing consumer goods, and control and power, okay? So of course the people in charge, they just want to control people, and they want to divide people, and they want to use this technology to create a hive mind society where they all think along the same ways of this, following this agenda. And anyone who's different, anyone who's leaking different kind of information, or just thinking in a different way, that will be stamped out, is what I'm trying to say. And yeah, that's pretty much the future of linking with technology. Now, we could merge with machine and AI, and it could transcend us into the future of, learning about space, the cosmos, and becoming one and connecting ourselves with nature and the universe, and, actually benefit a species. but of course we're not going to use it in that regard, I don't believe. So yes, that is the digital future, that is the dystopian future, and it's already begun in 2020, and I just wanted to talk about it. I wanted to spread awareness. Obviously, I do talk about this topic a lot on my channel, and usually it's more focused, but you know, I just wanted to give you an overview of what 2020 is and how the dystopian future is coming, and the dystopian future is here, and the digital world is only going to get more and more crazy with AR, VR, and everyone will just be so detached from what is base reality. But then again, we don't even know what base reality is, because if you think about it, mathematics is linked with the universe, okay? It helps us figure out science, it helps us figure out everything, okay? So either humans created mathematics because that's just the way we think, or mathematics is actually connected with the universe, and if that's the case, we could all just be code and this all could just be a simulation. I know it sounds crazy, I'm just thinking about different theories, you know, I don't know the answers, but what I do know is that we are heading towards a dark dystopia, and the people in charge of creating these technologies are not doing it to benefit humanity, and the government now is being absolutely corrupted with regulations, and they are trying to promote a human society where we are no longer human, okay? And I just really want to talk about that. I wanted to draw attention to it, and we have to fight back. We have to be the resistance. So join now, subscribe, and we can build something great and unique here on the channel. Thank you so much for watching, my sinners. Have yourselves a blessed day, and stay strong and stay safe and keep your minds open, okay? See you next time. Bye-bye.